Okay, so today we're going to roast some coffee, some green coffee beans using the Freshroast Sr500. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that all your green coffee beans are cold. That means you go through and you pick out all the defect beans. After that, you're going to want to fill your roaster right about to this silver line here with green beans, because as you'll see after we roast the coffee beans, they're going to come up to about here. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do, you can adjust the fan speed on here, is I'm going to turn the fan all the way up when I get started. And I'm going to turn this on high. And I'm going to adjust the time to the full amount of time, which is 9.9 minutes. You're going to see the coffee beans aren't moving very much just yet. About every 30 seconds, what we're going to do so the beans don't burn, because they're not moving too much just yet, is we're going to pick it up and shake it. So we're just going to do that about every 30 seconds until we get a little bit more movement going on here. Alright, so we're at 9 minutes. I'm probably going to do this about 3 more times until we get to about 8 minutes, and then I'm going to let the coffee cycle on its own. Alright, now as you can see here, we've about doubled our volume in coffee here. There's a lot more airflow going through it. It's kind of like a popcorn maker. So now we're at about 8 minutes, and I'm going to slowly start turning the fan speed down to get us to the first crack. What you want to see here, you want to see an even flow of beans going through. It's slowly starting to brown up a little bit. And we're going to turn the fan down just a little bit more. And the lower you turn the fan down, the higher the temperature inside gets. Ultimately, what you want to do is get to your first and your second crack. Now the first crack kind of sounds a little bit like popcorn. The second crack, I find, tends to sound a little bit more like Rice Krispies. So those are the cues we're looking for. Usually you want to stop your roast somewhere around the second crack. If you like it darker, you probably want to get a little further into the second crack. If you like your coffee a little bit lighter, you're going to want to do it probably just at the very beginning of the second crack. Alright, we're at about 6 minutes left on our roast. And we're going to slow it down just a little bit more. As we're just now starting to get into that first crack, you can hear it. I'm going to go ahead and switch the temperature to medium because we want to slow the roast down a little bit during the first crack. About 4 minutes left on our roast. Alright, now we're at 3 minutes, so that means we're about 6 minutes into it. And I'm just now starting to hear the second crack starting. Sounds like Rice Krispies. Now I don't want to get too far into this second crack, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. About 2.5 minutes left, and I'm going to put the cool cycle on. So now this stops the roast where it was at, and it cools the beans down. So we should have a pretty nice roast when it gets done. The cool cycle on the SR500 runs for about 3 minutes. After that gets done, we're going to take this top off. And there's going to be a little bit of what they call chaff. It's like the skin around the beans. We're going to blow that out of the glass jar here. And then we're going to dump our coffee beans. And we're going to let the coffee beans rest for about 24 to 48 hours before we use them. The reason you want that to rest is you want all the carbon dioxide to get out of it. So the first day to 2 days, the beans are going to be releasing carbon dioxide, and after that there's going to be a lot more flavor to enjoy when you roast or when you brew your coffee. Alright, so now we've finished our cool cycle, so we're going to take the lid off here. That's the chaff I was talking about, and our fresh roasted coffee beans are ready to rest for a day or two, and then we can grind them and brew them.